going through.
Yes.
Yes, I mean, COVID, Russia-Ukraine war, and economic mismanagement has been like the problem of a lot of developing countries,
Exactly.
even the developed ones.
Yeah.
And so in today's episode, we want to do something different. We want to take, should I say, a note or a page out of Sri Lanka's book, Lessons from Sri Lanka, what we can learn about them, what we can learn about their economy. I've seen videos of thousands of people flooding the presidential palace in Sri Lanka, and the general response was that people were laughing. And but let's take a critical look. What led to that point? What led? Because obviously societies and democracies don't just break down like that. It starts from somewhere. There is a starting point, and there's a point beyond which the people cannot take it. And so we want to discuss about Sri Lanka as a developing nation in the southeast part of
India.
Asia. Yes, India. So what do you think about the whole thing?
Is it?
Yeah.
Just as you said, how? I mean, the whole scenario about how everything got started, right? A lot of people don't know Sri Lanka. Sri Lanka is a small. It's basically an island kind.
It's like a dot below India.
Yes, just the south of India. You have just like how you have Madagascar. Exactly. So it's a small island with a small population, right? And over
22 million.
Yes, over the years, right? What they've always adapted to. I mean, the government. I know they have a. Do they have a prime minister?
Yeah.
Right.
So it's their government is basically run by one family.
Yeah, it's a family thing.
It's a clan.
So this family has ruled over the country for so many years, right? And what has been consistent about Sri Lanka is the piling up of debt. You see, they present their national reserves as a collateral kind of, and then they go more money. They go informally for money for developmental projects, and it doesn't end up
bringing the required revenue.
However, it ends up with these same rich people.
So
the clan.
You can go search up their name.
Yes. And at the end of the day, those who are in power are the ones benefiting. In any case, what would they do? They know that, we have so many years to run this country. It's a family thing. So at the end of the day, if one person fails, when there's another person in charge, he might do it right. What causes everything was the fact that COVID was a serious impact. When the global economy was highly exposed, right? All these things started popping up. Right now, it's a country that has no fuel. The fuel available right now is meant for only ambulances and emergencies. How can a country small as Sri Lanka have a debt ratio that is
110%? Their debt to GDP. That means that if you take their GDP and for 1 year and you want to service the interest on their debt too, it will take the full amount of their GDP in 1 year plus 10%.
So at the end of the day, how can a small country like Sri Lanka, be in this mess?
Yeah, and to piggyback on what you were saying, to understand the clan of the particular family running Sri Lanka. Sri Lanka entered a civil war, I think, some years back, 20 years back, and it was this clan, the president with his clan, that took them out of it. And so when they came out of it, it felt like they owed allegiance to the man.
Yeah.
And so they made him rule. Yes. Now things were going smoothly. There were corrupt activities, as Bani said. There was high amounts of borrowing. There were a bit of mismanagement.
In fact, there was huge mismanagement.
Yeah, there was a huge mismanagement. But what helped Sri Lanka throughout all these years was that Sri Lanka is a primary destination for a lot of tourists.
Yes.
So that's what helped them. Now, as Bani said, when COVID struck, guess who their number one tourists were? Russia. So when COVID struck, we all know what happened. Everyone, airplanes, hospitality industry, everything came to a screeching halt, and so Sri Lanka lost a lot of money. But you would think that they will bounce back because after COVID, borders were being opened and everything. Then Russia-Ukraine war happened. So most of their tourists come from Russia. And if Russians are fighting, number one, they are going to have economic hardship. Number two, there's going to be difficulty with tourists coming to other countries just to enjoy. They didn't have that luxury.
And to add to what you are saying here, a lot of I would say developing third world countries are defaulting on payment.
Yeah.
There was a report
I think you should tell them the meaning of default.
Oh, they are not being able to pay their debt.
So when you are owing like maybe a credit facility or something, and then you pay interest every year till the end of the agreement, and you pay the principal amount. So when you default maybe on the interest in a particular year, when you don't pay, it's called defaulting.
Yes, exactly. So what then happened was, because of the high defaults of these third world countries, World Bank, in its own wisdom, was trying to help them facilitate certain loans so that they could help revive their economy and they'll be able to pay. You get it?
They can restructure.
But with Sri Lanka, no. I mean, everything was done for them in to some extent, but because of the high mismanagement of the economy, they were beyond return. Like, there's nothing they could do other than to just allow the whole commotion to happen. And you see, when you're in a society, or let's say you're in a society whereby you experience the hardship, but just when you look up, you see people starting up higher and they're enjoying life,
skyscrapers and everything.
You get then you ask yourself, why? I mean, how is that possible? How can you tell me? I mean, we are all experiencing the hardship, but some people are enjoying. And that was the cause of the first attempt they made was to attack the ministers, right? They made demonstrations.
They were burning some of their houses and
cars and everything. And then it just went haywire. Then obviously the presidential party started tripping in people, and you see, it happens. And when there's this out of control, you will see this high world country, I mean the elite world countries, coming in to have a beneficial needs.
They are just going to put their hands inside.
Yes.
But then, you know the funny thing, when I was studying Sri Lanka and their economy, I also studied Venezuela, but we don't want to go there. When I was studying Sri Lanka,
even Argentina,
a lot of countries are actually going through a lot of economic hardship.
A lot of Tunisia themselves.
But when you study Sri Lanka and you realize what caused this problem, for me, excessive borrowing, economic mismanagement, spending on projects that don't necessarily bring results, and also nepotism is a huge factor. And guess what? When you think about these things, when you hear these things, what comes to your mind? Our motherland. Yes, our motherland. Not just Ghana, but Africa as a whole. Nepotism is rife. Excessive spending, excessive borrowing, and doing projects that don't bring immediate revenue and return. And that's what happened with Sri Lanka. Sri Lanka was one of the most developing nations in Asia, more than Malaysia, more than Singapore. And look at where they are right now. They don't have money to even import food into their country. They don't have fuel. And so when you are going, you can't go anywhere. You have to walk. But where are you even going? The work is not there. Where are you going? Their hospitals are shut down because you can't pay your doctors. Their reserves have run dry. From a country that was the most promising country in Southeast Asia, right now they don't have money to even buy food for their citizens. And you know what? The funny thing, when the president was fleeing the country, he fled in fleets of G-Wagons. He didn't fly to an African country, Liberia or Nigeria. He fled to Dubai. He sorted. And that's my problem. You see, when the individuals are too apathetic and too indifferent for so long, what's going to happen is that the damage is going to get to a point beyond no return, beyond the point of repair. And before we realize, and then we get up and say, yo, enough is enough. How is Sri Lanka going to be revived? It's going to take years. That's the problem. They are broke. You are broke as a nation, and if you don't have some money stored up, and even if you have money stored up, Sri Lankan currency is worthless.
Yes,
it's worthless. So unless you had some dollars stored up, then you can leave the country. Apart from that, the clan, the president and his clan, they are sorted for life.
For life.
They are out of the country, and the citizens are now enjoying. Hey, they are now whatever they were enjoying for what, 1 day, right, in the palace. But after that, what's going to happen? They are not going to have enough to cater for themselves. So this is what happens when we sit down for too long. I'm not advocating civil war, but you must make your voices heard, because when you keep quiet, the bad people, the corrupt people are going to ruin the country, not just for you, but for your descendants too. So let's take a page out of Sri Lanka's book. I hope we don't get to that point.
No, we don't hope for that.
And the thing is that these protests began gradually. It wasn't at once. No, it began gradually, and finally it reached a peak, a climax, and that was all. Yeah, hell in a cell. Charlie, it be sad though. So guys, Charlie, if you see something that the government is not doing right, let's please. I'm not talking about the aimless protest here. Yes, let's get our voices heard through the right channels. Let's not be apathetic and indifferent to what the government is doing, because the truth is that the resources in this country are not just for you, they are also for your children. One day they are going to come and we are not going to have a forest. We are not going to have a forest. It's true. Alright guys, let us know what you think about this video. Leave your comments in the comment section and see us in the next video.